Hey guys, let's talk about some Blender resources. Okay, if you didn't remember when in the first section, of course, I was talking about a 3-button mouse. I still recommend one of those. A full-size keyboard often helps as well. So you've got the number pad on the side that you can use to control your view. A dedicated GPU. Now, of course, that's not going to be an option for many laptop users unless your laptop has already got one. But obviously, if you've got a desktop, there is the potential of upgrading your graphics card in order to get your renders done in much less time. Now, do bear in mind a dedicated GPU, we're talking about the performance end of the spectrum, sort of mid-level and higher. Just a basic dedicated GPU in your system is not going to increase your render time. So make sure you go first on the Nvidia side, probably a 960, 970 plus at the moment. At the time of recording, they've not got anything new out, and a similar sort of spec on the AMD side. Recommended reading? Well, there is a lovely Blender sort of crib sheet with infographic, as it says there, with all of the shortcut keys on it, and Learning Blender by Oliver Villa. We'll just have a quick look at what those two look like. Okay, so as you can see here, this infographic is pretty awesome. It's got almost every key you'll ever need on it. Not necessarily the best laid out thing. I find it quite stressful going through there, but it is a very useful sheet that you can print out and use. Now, this is for version 2.76, which is brilliant. It's got everything we need on it, so go and check that out. And the book, Learning Blender, Hands-On by Oliver Villa, well, it looks like this here. Really good book, quite a short book, but really gets you down and into Blender really quickly. Okay. So let's have a look at a couple of Blender extras. There's blendswap.com. That's a brilliant place to check out other people's work or even share your own if you produced something that you want to share with the community. And then you've got the Blender demo file. So let's go have a quick look at those. Okay, so here we are on www.blendswap.com. You will have to sign up for an account if you want to use it, and it gives you a great place to share and also download blend files as well. Do be careful, read the description of any licenses if you want to use someone's assets in your own projects. If it's just a personal project, then sure, go ahead and use it, but remember to read the license agreements. We don't want anybody getting into trouble by using someone else's assets in their project that they haven't asked permission for. So do read those carefully. And the demo files themselves on the Blender website. So if you go to blender.org and click on download at the top, and once you've done that, along the middle of the page here we have demo files, external renders, etc. Demo files is right there, and you can check out some of the files that are available, see what your computer behaves like with some more of these highly detailed Blender files. And of course the BMW benchmark is quite a common one used to spec out a computer or check it and benchmark it against other computers. And of course this is the one we actually use in the course as well. That's it for now. Carry on blending. Congratulations, guys. Well done for completing the course. I'm really proud of you. You've done an amazing job, and thank you for sharing in the discussions. So I have Ben with me here to talk about the other courses that we're involved in. So we'll start with the Unreal course. Now, Unreal, explain more about it, Ben.
Well, Unreal's a AAA game engine. So if you want to make your assets come alive inside a game engine, be able to make them move, even be able to just develop materials in a much more lean way, in a much more real-time way, then you want to consider Unreal. Have you been impressed with the results we've seen so far?
Yes, we all know how annoying it can be when you hit that render button and it can take a while to see an end result. Well, Unreal's not as accurate, but it's pretty good. I must admit, I'm really impressed. And that's at 60 frames per second, not one frame an hour.
so yeah, if you want to learn to render in a few milliseconds, then that's the power of a game engine. And as I say, the lean principle suggests you may actually be able to get just as good a result because of the number of times you can iterate. The time to split, by the way, with your model is you've got the geometry of your model, right?
Yes.
You've got to do that in Blender. You can't do that in Unreal. But once you start composing the material, you've got to make a decision whether you want to keep doing that in Blender or whether you want to bring your model and all your textures over into Unreal and then compose your materials there. So that's the Unreal course. Thanks, Mikey.
No problem. And I'll leave Ben here to talk to you about his Unity course. See you guys soon.
So the other option for you is to look at Unity. So what's the choice between Unreal and Unity when going to a game engine? Unreal's a AAA game engine. It uses C++ as a language. And if you've never done any coding before, you probably want to start a little bit simpler than Unreal, maybe with Unity. Now, Unity's rendering engine's not quite as beautiful, not quite as powerful, but it's very good and getting better all the time. And the language we're going to be using is C#, which is a little bit easier for beginners to get their head around. Plus, the Unity course is epic. It's 50 hours long. It's very well received. It's very established. So there's another option for you, is to come and join me in the Complete Unity Developer.
Dun, 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 dun. Hi guys, what next? What do you guys want to do next? So, Blender resources, what's out there for you guys? Well, recommended hardware. If I've not mentioned it enough already, but I do recommend you go and get yourself a 3-buttoned mouse. Even though you can use Blender with lots of other control surfaces, I do still think that's the best. And a full-size keyboard with that number pad on the side can be a godsend, especially when you're working from multiple angles with a model. So, recommended reading. We've got this Blender shortcut keys here. These are all links, by the way. You can go straight to the lecture notes earlier on in the section and download this, and you can even view it on there and click these links to guide you through. So we've got an excellent shortcut keys A4 printout that you can have. And then we've got a book. We've looked around at different books. If some of you love learning from books, then we've got this Learning Blender by Oliver Villa, and you can go get that over on Amazon or a good bookstore. Example blend files. So some of you guys will want to know more about, more inspiration, actually see the detail that's involved in other blend files. Well, we've got Blend Swap. It's a wonderful place where you can go and get 3D models from. Do bear in mind that each model that's listed on there will have certain licensing agreements. So don't just go and steal their stuff. Make sure you adhere to the person who's created it license agreement. Some of them will say, cool, just use this for whatever you want, without citation and everything else. Some people will want full accreditation for it, etc. And we don't want you guys getting into some sort of legal mess. And on the Blender website itself, they have some Blender demo files, which are great to check out and see what's going on. Okay, that's it for now. Take care, guys.